Hey everyone, and welcome to the Defining Your Life podcast, where we focus on living in our purpose, practicing presence, and activating our power in each moment. I'm Marcel, your resident pep talk provider, and I invite you to join me as we continue to learn, lift each other up, and strive to level up together. Because we are never finished defining our lives, and it takes a village, so let's build one. Stay tuned for the episode. Hey everyone, I hope that all is well, that you took a moment to reset and are back on track and re-energized as you continue working on your goals. Today, we are back with another wonderful guest for our rapid fire feature, a silent warrior by the name of Marcel Moore, and I'm excited for her to share a little of her story with us today. So welcome, Marcel.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
All right, let's hop right into it. Describe yourself in 30 seconds or less.
30 seconds is such a short time. Okay. I would like to say that I'm bubbly. I'm kind. I'm like a people person. What did they say? I've never met a stranger. Like I can talk to anyone.
That's a fact.
I love my friends and family. I like to have fun. So that's me summed up.
Very, very nice and very accurate. Great sum up. Okay, so I brought you on really because I wanted to explore an area that I feel doesn't get enough attention. There's so many things that don't get a lot of attention, but this world of chronic invisible illnesses, right? And I know that you are an MS warrior. And so I wanted to talk a little bit about how chronic illness appears invisible for so many people. Can you talk about some of the misconceptions that people may have about this illness?
Well, with MS or multiple sclerosis, which is something that I had no idea what it was until I was actually diagnosed. People have no idea when I say I have MS. They're like, what? And they're expecting something different. They're expecting me to be, I guess, kind of crippled in a way. So when you say invisible, it's like things that I'm working through and I'm pushing through that people don't know about. One great explanation is me in the airport. Like I can walk, but I can't walk that far, and I can't walk for that long. And if you're at gate A, you need to go to D. That's a long walk. So I often request a wheelchair. And this last time I was in the airport, there was no workers. There was no one there for the wheelchair. So that was kind of like stressful for me because I'm like, my flight is about to leave. What am I going to do? But when people are looking at you, they're like, what? Nothing wrong.
Like, why do you need a wheelchair?
Why are you being lazy? I'm not being lazy, but I'm also not displaying. I mean, I'm not broadcasting, like you said, exactly what my issue is.
Right.
So when you say invisible, it's super invisible because the people that know me are like, Marcel, what? And not until I tell them. People that have known me forever, they know.
Right.
But people that have just met me, they're like, oh, So it's super invisible.
And over the last few years, I've noticed that you've been more vocal about your fight with MS. What is it that prompted you to start sharing more?
So when I was initially diagnosed, I think I suppressed it. It was almost like maybe I was in denial, but because I wasn't having any issues, I wasn't having any what they call exacerbations or symptoms outside of the initial symptom that I had, which was with my vision. It was a quick, my vision was unfocused. Went to the doctor, got an MRI, got a second MRI, and it was confirmed that I had MS. So, and I just kind of bottled it because it wasn't bothering me. And I was like, I'm fine. Maybe it's going away, knowing that it couldn't go away. But I remember having a conversation with someone at a football field. And she was like, oh my God. She was talking about her having MS. And I'm like, wow, I have MS. And so that was the first conversation out loud I had about it. And then we got to talking. And then I realized that you feel in a bubble. Like you feel alone, when you have this disease. And it's important. You say it out loud and then somebody else will be like, oh my gosh, my sister, or oh my gosh, my aunt, or something like that. So it's almost not necessarily saving people, but Basically,
Yeah.
you are because you're giving people like an outlet. Like, I'm not alone. I mean, people are still, festive and beautiful and fun and fun
Yeah.
spirited, even with this MS. So I think that's what has really, made me start to talk about it more
Mm-hmm.
and be more vocal. And because another thing is, if people don't know what's wrong with you, they can't pray for you. So you gotta speak
Yes.
out about it. So you gotta say it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, for sure. And that community is so important. Coming out of your bubble. You can't have community if nobody knows what
what's
community
going
you
on?
Right,
Exactly. And it's
exactly.
kind of therapeutic for me, actually. I didn't think that it would be. It took me years. I would say
Mm-hmm.
maybe like 5 years to even like start having a conversation outside of me and my husband talking about it.
Yeah.
Like actually having conversations about it. But now I'm okay with talking about it. I've met so many people that look like me, that hang out with me, the
Mm-hmm.
same, like we're on the same scene as me, that have this exact same disease. And we're all thriving. So it's,
What a blessing that is.
for sure.
So you lead a pretty active lifestyle. I mean, obviously in the gym, outside of the gym. How important is it to have a balanced life in the areas of health, fitness, and fun?
And that is the balance. So I started working out before. What was it before I was diagnosed? Like maybe right before I was diagnosed, before I even knew what this MS was. So I always
Mm-hmm.
worked out. I always have fun. I always ate pretty decent. Um, but I think it's important because as you start researching and you start having conversations with physicians and other MS warriors, you start to like kind of like share best practices. So I think it's important to not change who you are. Like if you love
Mm.
something and this is what you love, don't let this take over. Like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Continue to do what you were doing, what you enjoy, because what does that lead to if you're not doing what you enjoy? That leads to like some sort of a misery or depression.
Yeah.
I still want to continue to be who I am. You know, I have this
Yeah.
another little badge on me, and that's cool. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
my husband is always like, "All right, it's fine. You got it. We're gonna work with it. We're gonna do what we
Yes.
need to." And that's the attitude that I've taken since I've.
Yeah. And that is a good segue into my next question, right? What role does attitude play in how you feel on a day to day as you walk this journey with MS?
I think attitude plays a huge part in
Mm-hmm.
not only MS in everything that you do. Like you have got to remain positive and manifest great things. Or
Mm-hmm.
she'll just like be sitting in like a slump. And
Mm-hmm.
that's not I don't want anything because stress is also a killer. Imagine
Mm-hmm.
that you allow something to stress you out. My dad used to always say, "Don't stress over things you can't control. Like you can't control it. I can't. Like this is it. This is the cards I were dealt. So
Yeah.
play a good hand." And so that's what I aim to do. So I think that waking up every day, having a good attitude. Thank you for waking me up this morning. I know that I don't have a disability. I'm just challenged in this particular area.
Mm-hmm.
But I
Mm-hmm.
have a couple challenges. I got that from my friend Diamond. She always says that. She was like, "You just have challenges. You just
That's
challenge."
it.
So that I've been leading with that
Mm-hmm. And play a good hand. I love that. Play a good hand with the hand you were dealt.
for sure.
What are some words to live by that you'd like to share with other people that are walking through their life with a chronic illness?
So for me, I always say like, okay, I have MS, but MS does not have me.
Mm-hmm.
I use that to push through every day. Like, it's a lot of things that I love to do that I can't do. Like, I love to be in the gym. I enjoy working out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying I'm trying to be a bodybuilder or nothing like that. But I do enjoy like working out and doing things like that. So, but the fact I can't run anymore, you
Yeah.
know? So that's like, ugh, that sucks. But I can do other things. I could jump rope. I could do jumping jacks,
Mm-hmm.
things like that. Um, so I'm not letting MS take things from me. And shout out to the sneaker trend because
Mm-hmm.
sneaker trend is really holding me down.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I lived in the heel. I still having a trouble giving away the shoes that are in my closet right now. I can't
Yeah.
wear them. I know that. Like those heels, I can't wear those. But I like to look at them. They look pretty. However, The fact that I can throw on a pretty dress and still rock out with a pair of cool sneakers,
Yeah.
that's helpful for me. It's helpful for my, because I think that a lot of women, like, that's your sexiness, that's your appeal,
Mm-hmm.
like the whole wearing a heel thing. So it does get to you, but you have to modify. Like,
Modify, yeah. Adapt, be
adapt.
nimble.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
nimble, adapt.
What is some advice that you would have for those who are looking to support people in their lives that are living with chronic illness?
What I think is important is to, well, not even, I won't say listen, because sometimes you don't want to talk about it because you're like,
Mm-hmm.
and you're in, like, for me, I don't necessarily want to talk about it all the time, but I
Mm-hmm.
do appreciate, like, my husband. He's like my number one supporter. I appreciate that. He'll be like, "Oh, I was doing a little research on MS." Like, he's, going through to figure out, like, different things that, may be important, like some things that he might see me deficient in. He's like, "Okay, well, I was looking at this and I would say that you should probably do this." So I think that caregivers or people that want to support should listen, should do a
Yeah.
little research, um, be accommodating. You know, I'm not always I'm always a good time. I'm always fun. Sometimes, like, you want to walk the streets of New York. Okay.
Yeah.
You might got me for a good 2 blocks. By block 3, pull your arm
Yes.
out and let me be
Yeah.
that, So, like, just be accommodating, be kind, be compassionate, you know, and ask me how I'm feeling proactively.
Mm-hmm.
Like, don't wait for something to happen to ask me. Ask me how I'm doing. You feeling all right? You think you're gonna be okay doing this? Or
Yeah.
you think this will be okay if we do this? That's appreciative, because I don't want to feel like I'm holding you back, and I don't
Yeah.
want you to make me feel like I'm holding you back. You know?
Yes.
So,
Yes.
so that's
Mm-hmm.
the part. Because I am going, like I said, I'm going to push through, but I'm also going to say I can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good with that. Like, oh, I'm not going to be able to do that.
Right.
I'm
Yes.
not being
Yes.
lazy. I don't want to take the stairs. There's an elevator. Great, let's do the elevator.
Yeah.
Save my leg energy for the latter part of the day.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. But everybody's MS is different. So this is my
Mm.
MS.
Yeah.
Someone else will need different type of support than I'm going to need. So when you speak to MS, you can really only speak to your MS, because
Mm.
MS it's like a box of crayons. Everybody's has a different color.
So the overarching theme then is just to be kind and be cognizant of what others may be experiencing. It's not just about your experience personally. We all need to be extending a hand to someone else,
For
right?
sure. Everybody's
Yeah.
different with everybody.
Yeah. And everybody's not going to pull the curtain back. So you just need to be a good human being.
That's it. Just be a kind person. Like, it's so easy. Just be kind to people. It would be
That's it.
so simple if you just be kind to people. I think that's really the biggest thing. I mean, I've had
Hmm.
some kind people. I just came from a training like 2 weeks ago. I had the kindest people. People that were, like, noticing me, like, walking, because I'm walking, because in my mind, this is my normal, and I'm
Hmm.
okay with it. But if you see me and you don't know me, you'll be like, you all right? You hurt
Yeah.
your leg? Because I'm dragging my leg a little bit. And now I have to open up hi, my name is Marcel. I have MS. I have to,
Yeah.
and they're like, oh my God, I didn't know. Of course you didn't know.
Right.
So, like,
Now you know.
now you know. So, do you want to be an assistant? Okay, perfect. Thank you. Let me hold your arm so I can make it down this long hallway. Yeah, so stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Marcel, for joining us and opening up, pulling the curtain back for us and leaving some knowledge for folks that don't know. So hopefully people are feeling a little bit more educated, and feeling that they have opportunities to step up in the kindness department, right?
For sure.
And so I'd like to leave you all with a few words today from Maya Angelou. You may encounter many defeats, but you must not be defeated. In fact, it may be necessary to encounter the defeats so you can know who you are, what you can rise from, how you can still come out of it. Thanks so much for listening today. If what you have been hearing has had a positive impact, please don't forget to share, review, rate, and subscribe. I can't wait to chat with you all again next week. Take care until then.